it's Nikki. Welcome to another character quest video. Today's subject is Miss Mona, the witch lady. Without further ado, let's get into our table of contents. First up, we are going to be doing her story quest in its entirety. Then we are going to be watching all demos and trailers regarding Mona. Then we're going to be going and reading all of her character stories, her lore, all the voice lines, and Teapot dialogue too, because we miss nothing. Next, we're going to be talking about a couple theories regarding Mona, and there are a few. Then finally, we have our character log, which is a staple on this channel. I essentially discuss my opinions on the character, my thoughts of their arc projection in the future, their relationships, personality, you know, you name it, you name it. Without further ado, let's get into it. Oh! She was waiting for us? What? Oh! Oh, cool. Ooh. What's that? Okay, well, maybe start with hello. How are you?
How are you?
My name is.
My name is. What happened to that?
Oh shit! How did Homegirl know that? She has my attention now. Astrology. Okay. That's all the stars and stuff on her outfit. Who are you? Well, if you don't mind. Dang. Mona. Okay. Little technical difficulty. This footage skipped over itself for like 5 seconds. Like the screen was frozen and like no one was talking. And then it caught up with itself in the recording. So it's all fine now. Onto the scene. Sorry about that. Yeah. What is this box? Take on the guardian of it. You want to prove yourself. Oh, okay.
私が占ってみたところ、師匠の友人は現在モンドにいないみたいなのです。今箱を保管しているのはその継承者。きっと私のようにその継承者の
Is it Lisa? Like, I'm trying to think of the only like witchy kind of person in
今回の
Mondstadt.
勝負は何が何でも勝ちたいといろいろ考えた結果、あなたのことを思い出したのです。
Yeah, how did you end up
師匠
thinking
から
of
受け
me?
継いだ知識は代々伝承していかなければなりません。もし
Okay.
向こうの継承者に会うとき、私が弟子を連れて行ったら、それだけで一歩リードできているじゃありませんか。それにあなたはモンドの英雄。
Equal?
肩書きとしては申し分な
What
し。
city did you save? Since when
だ
was
か
I
ら
your
本当
student?
の弟子じゃなくて、弟子のふりをしてくれればいいんですよ。それに私と一緒に箱を取り戻すことはあなたにとってもメリットがあるんです。向こうの継承者に会ったら知識の交流をすることになります。そしたらあなたの運命がよりはっきり見えるようになるかもしれません。
Wait.
今まではっきりと見えなかったことが見えるようになるなん
Gods
てこ
and
とがありま
kin?
す。
Okay.
例えば
Alright.
神や家族のこと、
You better not
そ
be
の答え
lying.
が見つかるかもしれませんよ。
You better pull through, Miss Mona.
確かに国を一つずつ探していく手間が省けるぞ。
It does.
それこそ賢い選択です。では参りましょう。
I like her
でも
outfit.
ここを出る前にちょっと寄りたいところがあるんです。
A visit? Okay. Oh.
金鉱山に小さな宿屋があります。
Oh boy.
そこの食事
Okay,
は
hold
安くて
on.
美味しいのになぜか人気が出
I'll
ない
wait
ん
for
です。
this dialogue to finish.
ここ最近はそこの店主のお世話になっていたので、出発する前にきちんとお別れを告げさせてください。
Okay.
あんなところに宿屋を開くなんて。
モナさん、ちょうどいいところに来てくれました。ここへ来る途中、玉石の指輪を見ませんでしたか？
玉石の指輪ですか？見てないですね。
どうしよう。私の大事な指輪がスライムに飲み込まれてしまったんです。
A slime
あれは
swallowed
母がく
it.
れたものなのに。
How the heck did that happen?
モナがいるし心配いらないだろ。彼女の先生術な
We're
ら
already like
ダメですよ。
boasting for
先
her.
生術は真実を洞察して運命を見通すための由緒ある知識。むやみやたらと使うようなものじゃありません。でもここの店主には世話になったんだろ。これはプライド、つまり心の問題です。先生術ならどんな問題でも解決できると思っていたら、先生術師はいずれ星空に見捨てられてしまいます。結果、占いは未来を導く力を失い、二度と名夢を見通せなくなります。そんなすごい能力を持っていて、金儲けに使わないなんて。
はあ、協力してくれたらお礼に2万モラを用意していたんですが。
2万ですか？
What the?
いえ、なんでもありませんよ。ただこうも簡単に2万モラが手に入るなんて、指輪を拾った人はラッキーだなと思っただけです。
Yeah, what happened to principles?
それはそうですが、でも店主が汗水垂らして稼いだお金を出してまで探した指輪です。このまま放っておくのもよくありませんね。
Oh my god.
探してあげましょう。モナの考えがこの件はあなたに任せます。これは師匠から弟子への最初の任務です。
Wow, I thought she was like genuinely had some sort of interesting principles regarding astrology because I don't really know much about it in the game yet. But apparently that's all shit. It's all BS. And she was just being stubborn. Great. Ooh. Yes, I remember. I remember everything we did with Master Diluc. Oh gosh, now there's 2 of them.
相棒として頼もしいだろ。
2 greedy little.
何か策があるみたいですね。おう、すぐ戻るから待っとけ。
Oh lord. Alright. We're roped into doing it again.
元素の餌の効果はすごいから、この辺りのスライムを一気
She's
に
not
誘い
even
出せる
gonna
ぞ。
help.
ただ、スライムも数が多いと危険だからな。
We'll be
ちゃん
fine.
と準備しとけ。
We shall be fine. I really thought she was like going somewhere with that whole speech, but I guess she's just a little greedy. Alright. Alright, we frickin' have the
こ
ring.
れこれです。
よく見つけました。なかなかやりますね。
Yeah, it would have probably been faster with your help.
大事なものはちゃんと保管しておいてく。
気をつけます。母からもらったこの253個目の指輪をなくしていたら、
What?
どんな顔して母に会えばいいかわかりませんで
Look
し
at
た
the
よ。
meat's face. Oh my god. Oh my gosh, wait, look at Paimon. What? My dude.
あ、どうやら誤解させてしまったようですね。うちは玉石鉱山を3つ所有しているんです。いいお嫁さんをもらえるよう、母が玉石のアクセサリーを家宝としてたくさん用意してくれて、
Okay.
全部で500点ぐらいですかね。
じゃあ、
Oh my
どうしてこん
god.
なところで宿屋を開いてるんですか？
若い頃に家業を継いでしまったゆえ、こう退屈な思いをしてましたので、とりあえず感謝しています。
じゃ
What the
あ、
heck?
遠慮なくいただきましょう。
Excuse you.
苦労したのはオイラたちなの。
Yeah.
弟子は弟子らしくするのです。師匠から自腹を
No,
横取りしちゃい
this
け
is
ません。
disrespectful.
そうだ。今から練習しておかないとモンドについてすぐバレてしまうかもしれないじゃないですか。
Okay.
今
She's
なんか大
hungry?
きな音がしなかったか？
You don't need
あ、
20,000
そういえば
more
ママ
to
さん、
eat
こ
though.
こ2日何も食べてませんでしたよね。
うるさい。そんなことありません。放っておいてください。
What?
今回弟子のあなたが頑張ってくれたおかげで解決しましたから、このお金で弟子をいたわってあげましょう。
What's going
ここから
on?
北に行くと 防除旅館という場所があります。おっと、礼ならいりませんよ。ご飯をおごってくれるって？おいらの聞き間違いじゃないよな。
Let's go after her. I'm getting whiplash. She's all over the place. I don't know if she's being serious or petty or greedy.
モナのおごりなら何を注文してもいいよな。もち
Are
ろん。
we really about to spend
師匠は気前がいいですからね。
$20,000 on
でも食べ
food
物を残
on
すのは
one
絶
meal?
対ダメですよ。ご注文は何になさいますか？
This all sounds good. Dang. What am I currently in the mood for? I'm kind of hungry. Let me live vicariously through Levine.
豆腐という食材は極めて普通ですが、カニ味噌との相性は抜群です。この
Okay. Oh, I guess we're not picking just one. I guess we're ordering all of it.
名前の通り、松茸で作ったアワビもどきの料理です。
Anything with veggies in it is automatically best.
丸々と超えたエビをサクサ
Shrimp
クに揚げ
balls
たポ
sound
テトで
good.
巻きつけた料理で
Ooh,
す。
fried potatoes. Oh, that sounds good.
うちの常連さんたち一押しのメニューです。タケノコと獣肉とハムをじっくりと煮込む
That
ことで、
sounds
ご飯に
good.
かけるといくらでも箸が進みますよ。
Oh my gosh. I'm hungry.
全部？私たち3、いや 2.5 人ですよ。頼みすぎです。オイラの数え方がおかしいぞ。それにオイラの注文
Oh wait, that was all for just Lumine?
揚げ魚の甘酢あんかけとジョージョージ、あと真珠翡翠白玉。
Dang! She's gonna eat
かしこまりまし
4
た。
dishes?
そちらのお客様はお決まりですか？ちなみになんですが、さっきの注文全部でいくらですか？
Can't be more
そうです
than
ね。2万モラくらいでしょうか。
What?
ってことは、
Wait,
そうめんを
wait.
ください。
Stop.
そうめんです
4
ね。
dishes
かし
cost
こまりました。おかけになっ
$20,000?
てお待ちください。
Mora, what on earth? What is the economy?
不思議に思ったんだけど、
What?
お金がないからか？聞こえてますよ。おごるって言ったじゃないですか。モラが理由なわけありません。先生術師は星空の研究に専念する存在。属性のものに邪魔されては判断に迷いが生じてしまいます。
Okay.
特にモラで欲望を満たすなんてことは最も低俗な
Okay.
すべき行為です。
She couldn't eat some of our food?
オイラたち
Did
が
Lumine
注
really
文した料
pack
理に
all that
手を
down?
つけないのも先生術師のプライドだからか？でもオイラたちだけ贅沢するのも気がそうだ、
What?
その手があった。
Okay.
モラで欲望を満たせないなら、つまり購入しなきゃいいんだよな。支配人に厨房を貸してもらえないか聞いてみようぜ。
What? Literally what? I'm gonna wait until the end to kind of get an idea of Mona. She's all over the place. Hi, Singcho, my baby. I'm sorry, I could teleport up there, but like I just refuse to because the elevator is so fun. Hello? Oh, there it comes. Yay! Oh, I love this elevator. Look at the views. Oh my gosh, the horizon. Wow. So freaking pretty. I love this place. This is one of my favorite locations, hands down. As beautiful as Inazuma is, there's something about this inn that's so comfy, you know what I mean? Alright, I guess we gotta ask.
あら、どうしました？
厨房を貸してほしいんだ。
We've done a couple
なるほど。
favors for this guy. He might let
見た
us.
ところお客さん、料理の腕に自信がおありですね。
I feel like Lumine cooks a lot.
さすがですね。お客さんの服装からして他国の
I
方
wouldn't
ですね。
personally call myself a cooking savant, but I'm not horrible at it if I have a recipe to follow.
カニに小麦粉をつけてあげ、
揚げ終わったら生姜やニンニクと一緒に炒めれば。
お、黄金ガニ。黄金ガニ。黄金ガニ。
All right. I'm learning for your sake.
お前の料理センス。
All right. Wow, it does sound fancy. Let's see what it is. Golden crab. I like crab. I'm a fan of. Oh, Bupper. Hi, Bubby. Oh, I wish I could pet you. Okay, seafood is always good. I know not everybody likes seafood, but seafood is fucking bomb. All right. Let's whip up this. Oh, wow. That looks very, very fancy. Okay, we'll put Noelle. Ooh. Was a tiny little space there. Salt. You know what? We'll cook one more. Nice. Okay. We have made it. It's fresh. And the inn is surrounded by water, so the crab and seafood they probably get is like, I'm assuming is super fresh. Where is she? Oh, there she is. Boom. Perfect landing.
私のことは気にしないでください。そもそも食欲そんなにな
Girl,
い
your
ですし。
stomach is rumbling
ほんのち
so
ょっとだ
much.
けお腹
Just
空いてます。
that's a big defense boost. Wow.
この香りは
Something to go with your noodles.
こんな贅沢なトッピングがあるなんて。わかりました。弟子が私のために
Oh my
頑
god.
張ってくれたのです。無限にはできません。この黄金ガニ美味しすぎます。こんな美味しい料理生まれて初めてです。そのご飯まさかここまで料理が上手だったとは師匠として鼻が高いです。リーユエ料理の美味しさはさすがと言うべきですね。そう考えると根が張るのもうなずけます。なんでもありません。なんでもありませんよ。ここから北に行けば石門に着きます。そのまま進めばモンドの国境です。一
Okay.
体どれほどの深い知識が私たちを待っているのでしょうか。
All right. All right. Mona's growing on me. I think she's the type to kind of put up a front, you know? I don't think she's actually like super greedy in the like mean sense. I think she was just maybe a little desperate. Let's catch up with Mona. It's kind of cool how they're walking us through traveling from Liyue back to Mondstadt. Especially after spending, damn it, especially after spending so much time with, or not with, but in Inazuma. It's very nostalgic.
やっとモンドに着きました。はあ、疲れた。偉大で深い知識を求める道のりは楽じゃありませんね。おいらは疲れてないぞ。あなたは飛んでるじゃないですか。なんだ。先生術師って大したことないんだな。
Alright, Paimon, I guess, still has beef with Mona.
抱きすぎてるからです。
やあ、君たちもここで休憩かい？
Who's this dude?
誰だ？
ああ、私たち兄弟は商人だ。リーユエで商売を終えて、今からモンドに帰る
A
ところ
group
な
of
んだよ。
men
君たち
approaching
疲れてる
me
みたいだし、私たち
on
が
the
予約
road
した馬車
at
がも
night.
うすぐ来るから、一緒にどうだい？
I don't have good vibes.
ついでだし、金はいらないさ。
必要ありません。他に用がなければさっさと
Yeah,
消えてく
exactly.
れ
You
ます
tell
か
him, Mona.
え、
Shoo.
こちらのお嬢ちゃんは
Why are
急
you
にどうしたん
resisting?
だい？
We don't know each
下手
other.
な芝居は
Fuck
や
off.
めたらどうですか？
Bandit?
お父さん。弱そうな相
Oh.
手を見つけたらうまいこと馬車に乗せて荒野で身ぐるみを剥
What,
が
you think it's
すつも
because we're
り
two girls? We
ですよ
can't kick
ね。
your asses?
何を言ってるんだ。人の親切を無駄にするだけじゃなく、根拠のないことまで言うなんて、こちらから願い下げだ。
では あなたたちが身につけているものの中から強盗で得たものを
Whoa,
言
she
い
can
当てましょう
detect.
か。
Oh
不服なら
shit.
被害者を呼んできて確認すれば一発でわかることです。もし私が間違えていたらお詫びに2万モラあげます。逆にもし私が正しかったらあなたたちには
She's picking a
理由
fight.
校の刑務所に入ってもらいますけど。
What is that crawling sound?
どうします？まともな商人なら別に構いませんよね。
お前俺様を怒らせやがって。どうやって知ったかは知らないが、お前を殺せばこの秘密を知る者は誰もいない。
Yeah, careful.
心配はいりません。ただの強盗です。さっき先生術師を大したことないと言いましたよね。
Are we gonna get to trial her? Is that what this is gonna be? Oh, cool. Okay, let's see what she does. Ooh. Oh! Oh! She's like Ayaka with the sprint thing. Ooh. All right, gotta pay attention. Whoa! Oh my gosh! She's so fun. I like the stars and everything. That's so cool. All right, I'm sorry. I gotta focus.
運命が水面に映るのです。
Ooh. I like how fast and like mobile she is. The sprint thing is so fun. Whee!
運命の巨影。
Wait, let me see if I can get the dodging down with that sprint mechanic. I feel like it'll feel so good too. Ooh, pretty. I don't know what that did though. Oh wait, that guy was like floating.
運命が
She was so fun to use.
どうです？これがあなたたちの師匠の実力ですよ。
We were kind of already suspicious of them, so we'll say your combat abilities were
先生
amazing.
術師にとってこれ式のことお茶の子
I
さい
see.
です。
Okay.
先生術の前で嘘は無意味。運命と真実とは
Destiny and
星空を見
truth
れば
are
一
written
目
in the
瞭然なんですか
stars.
ら。
Wow.
詳しく知ろうとすればそれなりに時間はかかりますが、でも今まで
Wow.
結構失敗してなかったか？それはテイワットの星空ではこの世の運命と真実しか映ら
Oh
ないから
shit
です。
of this world. Oh, okay. I mean that makes sense. Very
あ
interesting.
なたたちに関することはすべて曖昧で、この私でも正確に見抜くことが
Oh,
できま
because
せ
we're
ん。
not from here, so she can't.
ですから向こうの継承者と会うことで両者の知識が合わさればあなたの運命もはっきりと見えるようになるかもしれません。
I feel like Lumine would probably not
いず
be
れにせ
super
よ
optimistic.
あなたにとってはメリットしかない旅です。さて十分休めましたし、馬車があったらよかった。
Wait, I thought you just said your feet.
最初に疲れてないって言って。
Paimon, I can't. Wow, Mona was very fun to use. I really enjoyed that fight. It felt good to like from a mechanical standpoint, like it was fun to just like I guess water teleport or whatever the sprint little bubbles.
もうすぐ継承者に会えますね。心の準備はいいですか？
Wow, look at all those
師匠に
pigeons.
恥かかせないでくださいよ。
I can't read the stars.
ってダメです。弟子のふりといえども何も知らないわけにはいきません。
Okay.
部外者に教えてはいけないという決まりがありますが、あなただったら別に問題ないですよね。
Outsiders.
私の先生術は水裏の術。
Hydromancy.
その名の通り、水面に映る星空を観察することで行います。
Oh.
手本を見せるので、よく見ていてください。現在の製造と動きを見るに、例の継承者はセピロス騎士団の人で、若く
Is it Lisa?
女性。
It's so cool.
その情報だと、
Yeah.
まさかリサさんか？もうすぐここで会えます。よし、これぐらいの情報があれば十分ですよね。
That's all?
一番基本となる先生術でも一目見てわかるようなものじゃありませんからね。この辺はおいおいゆっくりと説明します。どうやら彼女が来たようです。わあ、栄誉騎士のお姉ちゃん。
What?
それとパイモンちゃんおかえりなさい。
What are you doing out here after dark? Clee,
彼女こそ
are you by yourself?
例の偉大なる学識の継承者です。
Wait. What?
継承者？そうです。星の海の秘密を知り尽くした先生術師とはズバリこの私のこと。私がここに来ると分かったからあなたもここに来たんですよね。星の海？星の海って何？そこにも魚がいるの？
Wait.
魚？いやいや、とぼけないでください。お姉ちゃんこそ一体何を言ってるの？クレイわからないよ。
Wait, maybe, okay. Oh, Clee's mother.
念のため聞きますが、あなたのお母さんはアリスさん、
Oh.
そうですね。そうだよ。あ、お姉ちゃん、ママのお友達なんだね。でも、ママは今とても遠いところに行ってるよ。
That is
知ってま
sus.
す。それが先生術の結果ですから。でも彼女がここを立つ前、
Clee's a
神秘学の
kid.
知識を全部あなたに教えていますよね。神秘学知識？よくわからないけど、ボンボン爆弾の作り方なら、
Oh
ク
Lord.
レイのお母さんがモナの師匠の
Okay,
友
this
人
is
兼ライバル
interesting.
だった
I
のか？
was not expecting
そうで
this.
す。
This is an interesting
師匠は
development.
先生術が得意でしたが、それ以外はからっきしでした。ですがアリスさんは違います。彼女は
Oh.
あらゆる神秘学の知識を知り尽くす天
I
才でした。
wonder. Okay, so there's
そうだっ
different
たの
like
か。
I guess
でもクレイはま
studies
だ
or
小さい
schools
し、
of magic. Is that
た
what
とえ
this
そういう
is?
知識を聞かされていたとしても理解できてないだろう。そうですね。血筋は引いていても知識までは引き継げていなかったようです。参りましたね。これじゃ勝負になりません。そうだクレイちゃん、アリスさんが出発する前、50年の約束と
What?
箱の
50-year
ことを教えて
agreement
も
in
ら
a
っていませ
certain
んか？
box.
それなら知ってるよ。お姉ちゃんはあの箱を取りに来たんだね。
Oh, she knows about the
探
box?
すからちょっと待ってて。
What's she doing?
これじゃない。
Oh.
これも違う。これ、あ、思い出した。クレイの新しい宝物と一緒に風立ちの地に隠したんだ。取ってくるからちょっと待っててね。
Wait. Oh, we have to go with her.
おいおい、カバンは置きっぱなしでいいのか？私が片付けるからあなたたちはあの子を追ってください。
Okay.
あの子そそっかしいですね。
Wait. Kaya, we gotta go get her. Where is she? Dang, she made quick time. Oh wait, those are okay. Wait. We gotta get her away from there. She can't
着い
be.
た着いた。ここだよ。宝物を掘り出そう。
This, yeah.
そんなことないよ。クレイは印をつ
They
けて
can't
おい
read
た
a
から。
sign.
ま、
Clee.
クソスライム。
Okay, get her behind me.
とりあえず片付けよう。
Not about to endanger a child.
あった
Okay.
あった。
Oh.
この
Oh
箱だよ。
no. Get out of the
爆
fire.
発に巻き込まれなくてよかったな。回収完了。あのお姉ちゃんに返そう。
My goodness, it's always something with Clee, isn't it? Oh, that child gives me
行く
anxiety.
ぞ。やっと戻ってきましたか。待ちくたびれました。
Well, if you would come with us to help, that wouldn't have been an
暇
issue.
つぶしにこれを読んでいたのですが、わけのわからない日記で全然面白くありません。クレイちゃんのカバンから落ちた本だったので、 古代の知識でも書いてあるかと期待したのですが、それより箱は見つかりましたか？見つけたよ。ほら、壊れてない。よかったです。ちょっと待ってください。どうして鍵がかかってないんですか？中身はそんな空っぽなんだって？クレイはね、この箱にクレイが集めた宝物を入れてたんだ。
Oh my goodness.
お姉ちゃんがこの箱を欲しいって言うから、クレイの宝物は出しておいたの。この箱を入れ物として使っていたってことですか？あれ、箱に入ってたものが欲しかったの？まさか壊してないですよね？大丈夫、壊してないよ。もともと入ってたものはお姉ちゃんが今手に持ってる本
The
だよ。
diary?
そんな、この本、この日記って
Dang. You read her diary.
50年が過ぎた今、少女時代の黒歴史を回収するつもりだっ
The
たというこ
dark
とですか？
history for you.
しまった。通りで何があっても中は見ちゃいけない。見たらおしまいだっておばばが言っていたわけです。
What a misunderstanding.
またトラブルを
No, you're okay, baby.
だって箱が欲しいって言ったのはお姉ちゃんだもん。クレイ、何も知らないよ。先に帰るね。
What a touching conclusion.
でもモナが日記を見たことさえ言わなければ。それは無理です。生成術の前で嘘は通じません。
No.
はあ、全財産を使ってモンドまで来たのに、知識を得るどころか戻れなくなるなんてどうすればいいんですか？さすがにかわいそうだな。そう簡単に忘れられませんよ。それにモンドに残りたくとも。
Oh, too
そ
expensive?
う、違います。あなた本当に空気読まない人ですね。仕方ないだろう。それが嫌なら師匠のところに戻るしかないな。もう言わないでください。こうなったら決めました。しばしモンドに滞在することにします。
She's gonna wait for her to
パパが天
die.
井を全うすれば私も自由の身になれます。ですが先生術の研究はどうしましょう？いや、それなら冒険者協会のキャサリンに聞いてみたらどうだ？冒険者協会？そうですね。依頼をこなせばあれがもらえますからね。ありがとうございます。私、いや、なんでもありません。
Aw. Yeah, I don't think she's Oh. Hold on. I want to try and get these pigeons. Oh, shit. Only one? Sorry, Timmy. Yeah, I don't think Mona's actually, like, an asshole. I think she was just kind of being... having an attitude to cover up her vulnerabilities. Which is relatable. Yes, yes.
なるほど。今モンドには空いている魔法実験室が封印を解くことができるものもこのモンドには数名いますが、もしその先生術師さんが封印を解くことができたら、きっと部屋の主も彼女が使うのを買いだ。わかりました。では早速部屋。
Wow. I didn't realize Catherine was a home realtor, but I guess wonders never cease. Oh, that's what this door is. I saw this when I first came to Mondstadt and always wondered why it had that seal on it.
この封印を施した人物はただものじゃありません。ですが、だからこそ面白いです。どれどれ。ふむふむ。なるほど。
Oh, wow. That took almost no time at all.
よし、開きました。おお、すごいな。あとはキャサリンに報告すれば。
その必要はないぞ。礼を言わせてくれ。ありが
Oh.
とう君たち。
この方は
ああ、私がこの部屋の所有者のゲーテだ。先ほど冒険者協会の前を通った時に、まさかこんなに早くこの厄介な封印を解いてくれるとは。
それってつまりここに泊まっていいって
Well,
こ
who
とで
was
す
the
か？
previous
あ
in
あ、もちろんだ。どうせ今までずっと放置していたんだし、
renter?
お礼としてこの部屋を格安で君に貸そう。
貸す？
Yeah.
賃貸だなんて聞いていません。それに私は
Well,
協
the
力
guy's
してあ
gotta
げ
make
た
a
のに。
living.
協力？ああ、もちろんわかっている。
私が言いたいのはモナは誤解してたみたいだな。でも、仕方ない
In
で
this
す。
economy, we are all in the same
よ
boat,
し
Mona.
決まりだ。手続きの準備をしてくるからここで少し待っていてくれ。
今回はありがとうございました。それと、ごめんなさい。あなたとの約束。
It's alright.
しばらく
I don't
叶いそうに
think
ありま
Lumine
せん。
was expecting it to work
生成
anyway.
術用の設備も新たな知識も得られなかった私では。
Alright.
でも約束します。準備が整ったら真っ先にあなたのことを占ってあげますから。はい。この先どうすればいいかわかりませんが、頑張ってみます。あなたたちの冒険がうまくいくことを願っていますね。
Okay.
先生術を金儲けに使わないとなると、やっぱたまに彼女の安否を確認しに行った方がいいよな。
Well, she can fight, so she can do commissions like we can. I'm sure she could hold her own against some hilichurls. Mona's
静かに
laboratory.
実験中です。あなたでしたか。今あなたのためにいろいろと試しているところだ。空腹で倒れたりはしないから。
Okay. Just wanted to check up on her. Okay, cool. Oh, her outfit's a little different.
I am astrologist Mona Magistus.
Wow, she's wearing like a leotard.
Meaning the great astrologist Mona. The equipment repair bill is due, and so is the final payment for that celestial globe I ordered. Astrologers must rid themselves of material desires. Only by ridding oneself of clutter can one see the true world around them.
Yeah, her fighting is so fun. Her fighting style, I
Delve
mean.
into destiny. Fate is upon you.
Oh, wow.
Let me scribe.
Oh, that's what the floating
Was
was.
ordained by fate. Long had I foreseen it.
The stars illuminate all mortal destinies, though few have eyes to perceive their meaning. But Mona, an astrologist newly arrived in Mondstadt, is able to read the fates of others through stars reflected in the water.
That's such a cool
But while no
concept, like
phenomenon is
lore-wise.
hidden from the astrologist Mona, she struggles often with the minutiae of daily life. It is a most common predicament. The more you seek truth, the more simple joys elude you.
This was ordained by fate. Long had I foreseen it.
Mona has skill that matches her reputation. As a hydro-aligned catalyst user, she masters the battlefield with ease, controlling the situation and creating openings for her teammates to attack. As a student of all things in and under the night sky, Mona also has a strong grasp of weapon construction. In truth, she finds that most weapons are wastefully made. When she crafts weapon ascension materials, she has a chance to recover a portion of the materials used.
Oh, that's useful. Very neat.
Mona's normal attack performs up to 4 strikes that deal hydro damage. Holding the attack button consumes a set amount of stamina and deals area of effect hydro damage after a short casting time. Mona creates a phantom of fate from coalesced water. This phantom taunts nearby enemies and deals continuous hydro damage to them. The phantom explodes when its duration expires, dealing area of effect hydro damage to enemies. Holding the elemental skill button causes Mona to ride a flow of water backwards and summon her phantom. This skill has many applications. The phantom can be used to taunt enemies, making them wet and priming them for attacks from Mona's allies.
Okay, so it also is like a decoy.
It can also help her out of a pinch. When Mona sprints, she cloaks herself in flowing water,
That's so
consuming
cool.
stamina to move rapidly. Ending this skill causes Mona to emerge, getting nearby enemies wet. Illusory Torrent also allows Mona to travel swiftly over
Whoa,
water.
that's so cool.
Once her first passive talent is unlocked, Mona can create a phantom automatically if she maintains this skill for a certain period of time with an enemy nearby.
Oh, neat.
Fate is upon you.
Mona summons sparkling waves and creates a reflection of the starry sky, applying the wet and illusory bubble statuses onto all enemies in the area. When affected by illusory bubble, weaker enemies will be imprisoned and unable to move. Attacking imprisoned enemies removes that status from them and deals an instance of hydro damage. When the status is cleared, the enemy comes under an omen. Enemies affected by an omen take more damage.
Oh, that's really helpful.
On the ever-changing battlefield, Mona's capacity for control cannot be overlooked. This astrologist aids her team at critical moments, controlling the field and maximizing her teammates' damage. As the battle begins, she first summons a phantom. It taunts enemies and lets her switch out, using the opening created to cooperate with her teammates and deal massive damage to enemies. She uses these combined techniques to control enemies, allowing the party to damage them safely. Once the time is right, she uses her elemental burst to entrap enemies and attacks them to trigger damage bonus effects. This way, she can defeat the weakened enemies before her, all in good time.
That's really
Mona's
neat.
hydromancy is indeed unique. No one can deny her intelligence and talent. Within Mondstadt, there are few who possess the ability and a desire to seek truth equal to hers. But beware, O young seeker. You must sacrifice your all to unravel the world's secrets. Can the astrologist Mona truly bear such a burden?
Wow, that was hella ominous. Good God. Wow. All right. Miss Mona, an astrologist of knowledgeable skill and high pride, settled in Mondstadt to avoid suffering the ire of her master. Okay, let's see. All right, her birthday's August 31st. My birthday's in August. All right, let's go to her lore. A mysterious young astrologer who proclaims herself to be an astrologist Mona Magistus and who possesses abilities to match the title, erudite but prideful. Though she is often strapped for cash and lives a life of thrift, she is resolved to never use astrology for profit. It is this very resolution that has caused her to constantly fret about money. Okay, let's go to her character stories. Teapot is a place where people of all sorts go about their business. Merchants move products, knights patrol, and farmers till the land. But if one were to ask Mona, the enigmatic and prideful astrologist, what she busies herself with, she will reply by saying that she is servicing a debt known as life. She will, however, vigorously deny being poor, giving the following explanation. Beautiful veneers may obscure simple truths. Exquisite food may mask its nutritional value. One lives simply, all the better to expose this world's truths. A frugal lifestyle, therefore, is a form of training to access the truth, or so Mona will insist. Teapot is a place where people of all sorts go about their business, and even enigmatic astrologist must look to hers. That said, it seems like bards might be the exception to this rule. Character story 1. Recently, Mona's teacher, an old but highly skilled female astrologist, has entrusted a very important task to her. Her teacher has an erstwhile rival friend in Mondstadt, and she wanted Mona to retrieve a highly confidential box from that person's successor. If you dare look inside that book, well, you'll see. That was the warning Mona received before departing. To Mona's surprise, this successor was none other than the Spark Knight Klee. The box was still extant, but due to Klee's actions and a series of accidents, Mona unwittingly unraveled the enigma behind the box. I'm done for. The thing inside this was the dark history of her youth. She will kill me if I go back like this. Mona was thus forced to stay in Mondstadt, beginning a bitterly frugal but bountifully fulfilling existence. Character story 2. Mona's astrology utilizes hydromancy, and she once explained the underlying principles thusly. It is people's fate that shines in the night sky, and though its reflection in water is but an illusion, it reveals the truth nonetheless. No one else can quite comprehend this principle, but Mona's ability convinces people to believe in it anyway, albeit sometimes grudgingly. Her astrological readings are exceptionally precise, and she will neither lie nor hold anything back when revealing the results of her readings. Your son says that he's made it. That's a lie. You've got no chance with him. In fact, he will soon leave you. The cold, hard truth is laid bare before people's eyes, complete with all the grisly details that they would rather remained buried. Mona will make no exceptions to this, and as such, she can seem completely lacking in human emotion. But sometimes, on a clear night, she can be seen on a high mountain slope. There, Mona gazes up at the stars in the sky, so close she feels that she could almost reach out and touch them, with gentle eyes humming an unknown tune to herself. Character story 3. Having never studied the art of finance, the astrologist Mona is always hovering around the poverty line. In order to save on food expenses, she once ate mushrooms for an entire month straight. If not for some relief funds coming from time to time, she would have had trouble eking out a living. Mona does, in fact, have some money set aside, even though she must eventually run dry without an income. She can slow the bleeding of scrimping in the food department. So where does the rest of the Mora go? Well, if you've ever had a look inside her lab, then know that the big pile of astrology-related apparatus and tools in there didn't come out of thin air. In fact, all of them come with a hefty price tag. Books from Liyue and Astrolabe from Sumeru. The shipping fees alone are impressive. That Mona should be in abject poverty comes, therefore, as no surprise. In order to support herself, Mona eventually took up a commercial contract. Her contributions to a column about the constellation in the Steambird have become her most stable income source. Now having a monthly income, Mona could have left her life of poverty, but how could an astrologist's pursuit of knowledge end here? Whenever she gets paid, Mona will immediately shell out on more astrology-related resources, returning to a state of destitution once more. This process plays out every month. Today, too, is another day Mona worries over Mora. Character story 4. Mona will sometimes meet up with Klee and Albedo, her primary reason being to get a free meal. Secondary to that is to exchange pointers with Albedo. Since they are both people who seek to unveil the principles of the world, and both are accomplished students of famed masters, aligning themselves with one another and working together is perfectly normal. Mona staunchly defends her teacher's image in front of Albedo. However, she also often complains about that old hag. You speak of your illustrious lineage, yet you also refer to your master as a hag and a stubborn dimwit. Which of these descriptions is accurate? Albedo could not help but ask this question, and when he did, Mona promptly realized that she had never given it much thought herself. Stroking her chin, she pondered this paradox deeply for a moment before responding. The techniques passed down to me are exceptional, of course, but my teacher is not my equal. Does she know the market rates for eggs, butter, or wheat? In this regard, I have already far surpassed her. Character story 5. During her apprenticeship, Mona found that the subtle abstractions of her master's teachings could explain the laws that governed the existence of all things. Human hearts were guided by these laws, and if one had great enough powers of calculation, all the mysteries of the world could be understood. Mona once believed this to be true, but when she had to strike out on her own and live day to day, she found herself doubting. Not everyone lived wealthy and comfortable lives. Some neither had food nor warm clothes, living no differently from beggars. And it was such an adventurer who, when meeting Mona, while she was out looking for fruits and vegetables to fill her stomach, shared half their food with her. Out here, we've got to have each other's backs. This was not something inscribed on these so-called principles of the world, and many other such things she encountered on her journey. The honesty of a thief, a robber's change of heart, a coward's courage, the good deeds of a wicked person. Mona began to have some doubts, but she also felt like she finally had her feet on solid ground. When she was again alone, with her thoughts under the stars, she marveled that her research had been so full of holes. Perhaps she would have to continue researching the world's principles for the rest of her life. All things astrological. The Court of Fontaine's mainline newspaper, The Steambird, has many a featured section that contains all sorts of news and gossips drawn from every corner of these 7 nations. The section Mona contributes to is known as All Things Astrological, and it is a column specifically targeted at hobbyists and professionals. That she had this opportunity at all was pure chance. When the previous contributing author was traveling the world, he heard tell of a strange astrologist, and his hobbyist's curiosity compelled him to seek her out. Their correspondence left him deeply impressed. As it happened, he was also looking to retire, and seeing that Mona was strapped for Mora, reached out to help her by recommending her to the editor-in-chief of the Steambird. When Mona released her first column, An Introduction to Astrology, the column, heretofore known for being easy reading, experienced a massive shift in tone. Most of each issue was dedicated to discussing the movement of celestial bodies and other difficult and obscure topics. Academic quotations, dense footnotes, and even the occasional hand-drawn star maps abounded in these writings. The editor-in-chief could not help but feel worried that this approach was too academic. Would it find acceptance with long-term readers? As it turned out, there was no need to fret. The publishing house received a great many letters that read something like this. Wow, this is amazing. I don't really get it, but this is super interesting. Consider me a fan of astrologist Mona Magistus. After getting approval to continue submitting the manuscripts, Mona could finally heave a sigh of relief. Now, how best to celebrate? Ah yes, perhaps she should use her first paycheck to purchase the latest edition planetarium she's had her eye on for a while now. Vision. To Mona, that her vision was sent to her from the gods doesn't mean a great deal. This is not to say that possessing an external focus for elemental power is not useful. Having power is always a good thing, but when compared to lofty truth, martial prowess is such a pathetically small concept. The gods, too, are bound by the rules of this world. Mona seeks the final truth of the world, hidden amidst the sea of stars. As such, she does not have any reverence for her vision, which the people of this world consider to be a sign of divine favor and the source of all power. Nonetheless, this item that serves no practical use in her hands is something that she treasures greatly. It was gifted to her by her teacher as a teaching aid, and it is the only evidence of their time together as master and pupil. She preserves these distant memories with great care. This exquisitely made teaching aid thus accompanied her everywhere, like an accessory worn by any other maiden. Until one day, when a vision of her very own would quietly indwell this old teaching aid. Okay, I quickly wanted to go back up really quickly and check out these wiki links. Mona's master, also known as the Old Hag, is a master hydromancer. It appears Mona's greatest wish is to overtake her in hydromancy and become known as the world's greatest astrologer. She's also the friend and rival of Alice, a famous adventurer and powerful mage. She is only talented in astrology, whilst Alice was well-versed in a variety of magical fields. Considering both her student and rival's affiliation with the Hexenzirkel, she is highly likely to be a member of the organization too. Okay, let's look at the Hexenzirkel. A coven of Circle of Witches, wow, is an organization of witches which conducts, Irmsul explorations and gathers around for formal tea parties. Not all witches are members. Lisa, the Witch of Purple Rose, explicitly denies her interest in the Hexenzirkel. La Senora, who was once known as the Crimson Witch of Flame, has no known ties to the Hexenzirkel and takes great offense to being called a witch at all. Since Lisa says their Hexenzirkel regarding Mona's affiliation, Mona's master is also most likely a member of the circle, possibly an elder. Ooh, okay. We can theorize about that in the theory section, but let's go ahead and listen to these. This is Deluxe's thoughts.
The land of Mondstadt, by the Animo Archon's grace, is bountiful. I see no need for the harvest forecasts of astrologers.
Harvest forecasts. Wow. Definitely trivializing that.
Ah, yes. Mona, the mighty astrologer. Mona, who once had the vanity to probe the fate of the Prinzessin de Verurtelung herself. She wound up a trembling wreck, overborn and overmastered.
The poor lass was trying desperately not to laugh. It was no easy task.
I am very confused by that. We already listened to Klee.
Mona Magistus, the astrologist. Her astrology column in the Steambird is well known among Ratawa scholars. Her articles always cover super specialized topics, but can still be appreciated by non-academics. That's no easy feat. Huh? Her name seems to just roll off my tongue? Oh, that's just because I have a lot of respect for amazing people.
Alrighty, let's see what Miss Lisa has to say about Mona. I'm actually curious about this one.
As to Mona, she seems to be an excellent mage, but I'm not a part of their Hexenzirkel. The idea of Erminsel exploration and formal tea parties just leaves me cold.
Okay, I want to know about the Amstel. I don't know what... Ooh. Okay. I'm going to back out of this. I don't think I'm supposed to know that yet. Okay, well, I at least pronounced Hexenzirkel right. Let's see what the traveler has to say.
In Inazuma, it's customary for parents to choose a lucky name for their child.
Those names symbolize everyone's expectations and wishes for the child, like prosperity, wealth, good health, and safety.
Because of these expectations, parents often pick extra long names and cram all sorts of blessings into them.
So, hypothetically, if one day a little girl fell into a lake on her way back home, then her friends might rush to her house to tell everyone, "Something bad happened!"
Oh, what happened?
Oswaldo Hrafnevines, Prinzessin de Verurteilung, Fischl von Lufschloss Narfadort, come quick! Centennial genius astrologist Mona Magistus has fallen into the water!
Mona falling into the water doesn't sound like an emergency situation, though.
Precisely. The fast-swimming Mona would come back home around the same time her friends are done saying her name.
Wow, savage. Savage. Okay, we already listened to this line from Venti in our previous video. Or not our previous video, but we did a Venti video already. Let's read some of this trivia. Mona is the first 5-star character to use a catalyst as a weapon. Oh, okay. Mona is one of the few currently playable characters who acknowledges or even seems aware that the traveler is from another world. She was able to find this out through her astrology. Ooh. Okay, just some little playable tips and stuff. Mona is able to use her astrology to ascertain and avoid danger, and she claims it allows her to see through lies. In her story quest Beyond This World Stars, which is what we played, she's able to recognize a group of what appears to be traveling merchants looking for travelers to accompany, but actually are a group of bandits looking for tired travelers to rob. Oh, okay, there's a little bit about Scaramouche. We haven't seen that. I'm assuming that's an event. In one of Mona's idle animations, the constellation she views will randomly be Lepus, Amber's, Tempus Fugit, Lisa's, or Leo Minor's, Jean's. Constellations she looks at are mirrored from her point of view, which is likely because she uses hydromancy as her method of astrology, looking at the night sky through its reflection in the water. What Mona specializes in is catropatromancy. Okay, a term derived from the ancient Greek words for mirror and divination. This type of divination consists in predicting someone's future or also discovering their past through the use of a mirror or any surface that may reflect light, like water. This practice was common in classical Greece and ancient Rome. All right, let's go ahead and start listening to her voiceover lines.
I am astrologist Mona Magistus, meaning the great astrologist Mona. If it is divination you seek from me, then I ask you respect my name by learning it wholly, here and now.
Okay. Wow. Very official, very formal.
Divination is about precisely foretelling one's written destiny. Over-embellishing that fate only leads to misconception.
Okay, fair.
Astrologers must rid themselves of material desires. Only by ridding oneself of clutter can one see the true world around them.
A minimalist, okay.
Fate is called as such, for it cannot be changed, nor can it be reversed. It can only but be accepted. With rain this heavy, not only are the stars clouded, so too is my scryglass hazy. Which of the starry skies do these thunderbolts fall from?
Which? That's a curious
The
thing
pure
to
waters
say.
of melted snow are optimal for hydromancy. One need not scry to know today's weather will be good. Your arrival is untimely. The morning star has just waned. Breakfast? No, I've already eaten. Noon is upon us. We should eat. I will have a salad, for simplicity is the way of the astrologer. Nightfall has arrived. I will soon be able to begin my divination. Did I finish writing my astrology column last night? It's already so late, and I'm no further along on finishing tomorrow's astrology column. What? You're off to sleep? I wish I could sleep now, too.
Okay, about Mona. Let's see.
The work of the astrologer is to show people what fate has in store for them, and that's exactly what I do. There will always be those, however, who are unable to accept what they're told. Why do I write reports rather than using my divination to earn Mora? I would never use hydromancy for the sake of Mora, nor did I learn hydromancy for that purpose.
I respect that about Mona.
I don't know. Unless left with no other choice, astrologers do not foretell their own fate. The elders of my art warned against it, for it can turn fate in on itself, which is incredibly dangerous. As you are not from this world, I am unable to give you a prediction. All I can tell you is that your journey is far from over.
Well, that's true. That is very true.
When I first received my vision, the elderly woman that gave it to me, she put on this air and said, "May your heart of truth be with you." And yet, this thing does nothing for my hydromancy. All it does is get me wet.
Interesting. Very peculiar.
That said, a vision doesn't hurt to have as a little accessory. It is, after all, the one useful study tool that miserly old lady ever gave me in a rare act of generosity.
Very sus.
Do you know about constellations? Astrologers believe that the patterns of the stars map out the destiny of vision bearers. Past, present, and future, everything is written in the stars.
Ooh. That has a lot of potential with the plot. Oh my gosh.
This travel companion of yours, do you know anything of her origins? No matter what, I cannot seem to discern a single shred of information regarding this floating fairy's fate. Oh? So you don't know where she comes from either?
Paimon is so sus, dude. Even Mona thinks so. All right, let's see what all these people have to say.
Albedo? I envy his ability to solely focus on his research without getting bogged down in mundane worldly affairs. What a wonderful life. If that batty old lady hadn't had one too many screws loose, perhaps that's the life I'd be living by now myself.
Interesting. I still don't know anything about Albedo. It's an interesting thing to say.
Diluk Ragnavinder, His constellation Noctua represents vigilance in the darkness of night, a lone guardian keeping watch, longing for the splendor of dawn, yet destined to solitude in the dark days preceding its arrival. Or wait, maybe Noctua's the one tied to wealth.
Whoa. Dang, she read him like a book. Oh my gosh.
Kaya Albrick. He's a Pavo Ocelus, destined for greatness and grandeur, and to hide ugly realities behind a layer of charm and elegance. He believes he has made a clean break with his past, but one day fate will catch up with him. When it does, he will have a major decision to make.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Whoa. Oh, wow, Mona.
A Tempest Fugit. The constellation derives its name from the hourglass and stands for knowledge and time, or rather, the trade-off between them. As each grain of sand falls down, a moment of time, of life even, dies for good. To stop the unrelenting flow of sand, one would have to turn the hourglass on its side. But once the sand comes to rest, it remains motionless forever. Maybe becomes lazy is more accurate than comes to rest in this case.
Holy shit. What was all that? I'll have to look into that. Wow. All right, about Amona.
You want to chat? For fun? Oh, I don't usually have spare time for such activities, especially when I have so many columns left to write. Then again, since it's you, it might be worth it. A change of pace once in a while isn't such a bad thing. Income from astrology. You can't use things like Mora to determine the value of astrology. You need to understand, hydromancy is the one and only means of discerning people's true destiny in the whole of Tevat. No matter how much Mora or gems you might have, the value of fate is quite simply incalculable. Perhaps not the smartest question you might have had for me.
Dang, Mona. Not the attitude. No thanks. I'll pass on the attitude.
You want me to explain how astrology works? I'm not sure you'd understand even if I told you, but since you ask, the method I use is called hydromancy, the art of inferring fate from the illusory reflection of the stars on the water's surface. The inverted reflection in the water is an image of the heavens from within which the truth of our world can be observed. It is the one and only success story of that old lady's research endeavors.
The old lady keeps getting brought up.
Mona Magistus, the astrologist. We came up with that name together, the old lady and me. She said it had a nice ring to it, but then she started calling me Meg for short, which is obviously unnecessary because clearly Mona is already suffice for a shorter name. No, you are not allowed to call me that. It's embarrassing. I knew I shouldn't have told you.
You shouldn't have, no, because now I will always call you that.
The golden rule all fortune tellers abide by is never offer advice. Only state the results of the divination. Otherwise, you risk your fate becoming tangled up with that of your subjects. But for you, I will make an exception to this rule, because our fates have been intertwined from the beginning.
I wonder if we'll get more info on that at some point. Wow, okay.
My hobby, stargazing. In this all too real world in which we live, we all need to look up from the dust once in a while and fix our gaze on the stars in a spirit of wonder. That, plus the whole thing about me being an astrologer.
Obviously.
The equipment repair bill is due, and so is the final payment for that celestial globe I ordered. Also, I still need to renew my journal subscriptions, not to mention pay the rent. Which one to prioritize? I'll pay off the celestial globe first. If I leave it any longer, they'll sell out, and then I'll never get my hands on one.
Okay.
Oh, salad. Salad is by far the best food in the world. Cheap to buy, easy to whip up, filling, and it's the most convenient thing there is when you're working on a column or fixing some equipment. I mean, who's got time for a proper dinner anyway?
That is very relatable.
You know, all those overpriced fancy foods.
Don't hate,
Personally,
Mona. Don't
I think
hate.
it's uncivilized and frankly dangerous to splash out and indulge yourself every time you have a little hunger pang.
Oh my god. Don't be a hater.
So satisfied. Who would have thought knowing you would bear so many benefits?
Mm-hmm.
Just to be clear, you're sure I don't have to pay for any of this? I don't mean to nitpick or anything, it's just I haven't quite eaten enough.
Those sound different.
Happy
Her voice
birthday.
changed.
Here's my gift to you. It's a bag containing some words of advice that may help you through tough patches. No, don't open it yet. During the year ahead, this bag will open itself when the right time comes.
What? All right, these last few bits and then we'll move on.
This was ordained by fate. Long had I foreseen it. One step closer. Maybe soon I shall finally uncover the truth of this world. My scryglass has long since preordained all that will take place beneath the stars it reflects. In the reflection of the water, I see the ascension of the morning star.
The morning star? What's that? What is that referencing? I'm not sure.
Let me scry. Shadows of fate, delve into destiny. Fate is upon you. Written in the stars. Decided by destiny.
Okay, very fun.
We could do with some more fortune. This should cover food and rent for a while. Finding treasure is pretty exhilarating. My vision is clouded. Odious fate. This was not foretold. Do not tempt fate.
Interesting. Well, now that we have kind of run through some of these, all right, let's go to her outfits. I saw that she had a different one. Oh yeah, okay. We just click here. Let's open up this link. All right. By the time you arrived at Star Snatch Cliff, Mona had already been waiting for you for some time. She was looking up at the starry sky, a song you did not recognize on her lips. As you approached, a sudden urge to prank her came over you, but even as you crept up, angling to clap her on the shoulder, she stopped singing. If you were trying to scare me, I'm afraid you're too late. As one might have expected from Mona Magistus, the astrologist, your attempt failed. You could only sit beside her. Clearing her throat, Mona began to speak in a professional tone. The stars are truly lovely today, making this a fine night to watch the sky. And now that I've convinced the couple who are usually here to leave, this is now the perfect spot to conduct our class on the basics of astrology. Huh, so that's why you hadn't seen Marvin or Marla. Then let's begin. Astrology is an umbrella term for the study of the laws that govern the movements of matter. The celestial bodies are but a shallow subject of research in this regard. You understood the basic preamble just fine, but as she continued to speak, the topic grew more complicated and you started to lose the plot. Still, she spoke so enthusiastically about the subject that you could not bring yourself to interrupt. Looking at her bright gray eyes and her constant gesticulations, you couldn't help but feel some embarrassment. Wait a moment, did you change your clothes? Seeming to not expect your question, she seemed a little put on the spot at first, though she recovered quickly. That's right, I'm wearing these new clothes just to commemorate this momentous occasion as your astrology teacher. You can take this as a sign of respect. Feeling a little guilty, you told yourself to get serious. Slapping the sagging, sleeping cheeks of yours, you forced your eyes open and continued listening to her lecture. The laws of matter are actually very simple. Rather, it is the principles that govern humanity that are the most complex. As such, we astrologists, all the while you thought to yourself, don't fall asleep, don't fall asleep, don't. What am I going to do with you? Your astrology master mutters. Very cool. All right, let's listen to these. These are the voice lines specific to her
This is the destined moment.
outfit.
These garments echo the magnificent starry sky.
Wow, okay.
I don't get to buy new clothes often. I should really save this for special occasions.
Okay, cool. Very fun. All right, so let's go ahead and check out her Teapot dialogue really quickly. Okay. let's start with the dialogue.
Huh? Looking for me at this hour of the day? This falls outside of my predictions. Is something the matter? Of course. The conditions and facilities are first class, and it's very comfortable here. So comfortable that I'm a bit worried that it might be hard to adjust once I leave.
Wow, she actually was polite and liked it.
No! Are you serious? Really? Being able to live in such a wonderful place without having to pay rent? Am I dreaming?
Girl, that's a dream I have.
Why, you? Since you're letting me stay here for free, I'll let that pass. Let me think of a way to repay you somehow. This way, we won't be indebted to each other.
I can relate to that. I hate being indebted to people.
All right, I'm in good spirits. Is there anything you wish to know? Oh, how studious of you. I am indisputably an erudite scholar, for my learning encompasses the stars above and earth below. But it would consume a considerable amount of time to explain the tenets of astrology. For now, some practical advice will do.
Oh, I can't wait to hear this.
Well, of course. For instance, ingredients approaching their expiration date can be used to create very cost-effective meals as long as you thoroughly cook them with the appropriate cooking methods.
Okay.
Many stores have monthly sales. Find an opportune time to stock up on grains and dried foods. As staple foods, they will keep you feeling full for a long time.
That's not the kind of advice I meant. But okay.
Also, processing your own meat products is much cheaper than buying them ready-made.
Okay.
How impolite of you to generalize it as such. These techniques are all a crucial element of living a disciplined life.
Okay.
They are the result of refinement of the objective laws of the world. So, I'll be stricter with you. You need to be more disciplined if you are to understand this world's truths.
All right, Mona.
You will understand how useful these are once you try. After you have mastered these, I will impart more of the secret wonders hidden deep within this world.
Next thing you know, she's going to be talking about coupons.
I want to reserve some of your spare time. Let's go on a vacation together.
Oh, wow.
Maybe on an uninhabited island or in a quiet rainforest. Just somewhere we can put work aside and relax for a bit. Is that so?
Unusual.
Hey, you don't just think of me as some research-obsessed maniac with a one-track mind, do you?
Well.
Everything I do is to comprehend the truths of the world. Even a vacation is a way to meet this end.
Okay.
I've already prepared them, of course. I started preparing for this a long time ago. Saving money can be difficult, so I specially prepared a savings jar. Every time I received a payment, I put aside some of it. During this time, I also resisted buying hardcover copies of research manuscripts. Eventually, I had saved up enough.
Wow, that's nice.
It's all right. It was worth it.
Oh, you can say I can't use your money.
What do you mean by that? Thanks for being considerate, but this is something I want to do, so it really is fine.
That's sweet.
Okay, I'll await your word.
How sweet.
Oh, good morning. If you need anything, I'll make time for you. Call me if there is something you can't resolve. It's already time for you to turn in. If you ask me, there's never enough time in a day. Good night. Yes, go replenish your strength.
All right, this is the special dialogue for the
Quite
sets.
a dignified study. May I use it as well? In that case, I hope you don't mind if I stack all the star maps I bought over here. I still have those things I bought on sale. If I want to maximize my use of space, I'll need to plan this out more carefully.
Oh, she likes a kitchen. Interesting. Considering how much you,
Let me quickly inspect the ingredients in the kitchen.
was against rich
After all,
food.
you will most certainly need wisdom to turn limited ingredients into a dish that can keep you full for an entire day. Oh, yes, thank you for preparing these. If you're not averse, you're welcome to try some as well.
Oh my goodness. Not her scrounging in the kitchen. Alrighty. Welcome to the theories section of the video. This is going to be slightly stunted, I think, because I haven't watched any events yet. So if she is in the events, I don't have any of that knowledge. But I am going to theorize with what I have read, which is everything in this video so far I have consumed. I think there is something really interesting going on with the Hexenzirkel. That I am so curious about, especially since Alice is involved and her hag teacher. There is something very peculiar going on. And Lisa, too, saying that she absolutely refuses to be involved in that is also quite shocking. Because Lisa is very, at least what I remember of her and like how we've interacted with her thus far, she's very easygoing, you know? But to have, like, in the trivia section, Lisa apparently was like extremely adamant about not wanting any affiliation with the Hexenzirkel. And so to see a character like Lisa genuinely refuse with that much determination to involve herself with that coven of witches is very interesting. And I don't know, I haven't like gone into detail on Lisa yet. I will be doing videos on all the 4 stars too, one step at a time. But from what I've heard, I really am interested to see if maybe the Hexenzirkel has to do with Mondstadt's past, or well, actually, maybe it's not, because they never said it was based in Mondstadt, did they? Alice has left her daughter in Mondstadt. Lisa is in Mondstadt, and Mona is now in Mondstadt, but Mona's master or teacher isn't in Mondstadt. At least we don't think so, or that wasn't said at least. Or I don't know, like if she's been to Mondstadt is what I mean, not like currently there. But I don't know, all of them are in Mondstadt, or at least have some ties to Mondstadt. I'm not sure where the Hexenzirkel was founded, if they are even based in one nation over the others. I'm not sure. That wasn't mentioned, and it seems like there's not a lot of knowledge on the Hexenzirkel in the game as of right now. Maybe that will be something explored in the events, or maybe in the future Archon quests. I'm not 100% sure, but what I do freaking know is that there is something whack going on. I think that the fact that all these mysterious, powerful women are all kind of orbiting around this coven, this idea of a collaboration of some of the most powerful magic wielders in universe, or in Teapot, I should say. That's so cool, but also very suspicious. And I'm wondering if there are more ominous tones to that, you know, like, because we don't really know much about Alice. We only kind of know about Alice through the eyes of her daughter, of Klee, right? And what Klee thinks of her mother. But children have obviously very biased opinions on things. And Klee seems to really like her mother, so of course she wouldn't say anything poor about her mother. And we don't have very much info. Like, I don't think any of the other characters, at least that I have really done research on, has said much about Alice, so she's kind of an enigma, you know? Maybe she's in some of the events, I'm not sure, but her connection to Mondstadt and the Hexenzirkel is interesting. I think Mona might, at some point, introduce us, or I don't know, because Lisa called Mona like their local Hexenzirkel, which is interesting, but I don't really know what Mona's opinion of them is, like, or how many women are part of that. Interestingly, La Senora said that she didn't even want to be involved in that. I don't know if that's because she wasn't invited, or if she wasn't, I don't know, accepted into the community or the coven. I'm not sure how that works. But apparently you don't have to be like a good at all kinds of magic to be a part of the Hexenzirkel, because it said that, or Mona said that Alice was talented in all kinds of magic, while her teacher was only super studied, or I should say super well versed in hydromancy and astrology, but she was still part of the Hexenzirkel. So I don't know. It's very curious. I really want to know about that, and if maybe that will come into play at some point. The potential of her character in terms of like her abilities is astronomical. The fact that she can tell fate, or it should say predict fate or understand fate of those around her and of other characters, but not us, is very interesting. I don't know how else to say it. I know I've said that like a million times already, but it is. Like, the fact that she could possibly at some point in the future help us to understand maybe about ourselves or about our sibling. I'm just so curious. And I think probably what was one of the most interesting is when she said her last ascension line is she said something about witnessing the ascension of the morning star or something like that. And it's funny because she never referred to herself as that or any other character. All the other characters she talks about, she lists their constellation, but she doesn't even, I don't even know if we have a constellation. And if that's the case, are we not, because we're not part of this world, right? So I guess it would make sense that maybe we don't have a constellation, because she said that the constellations mirror Teapot, right? And that everything in Teapot has a place in the sky. But she said sometimes, I think I forget which line it was or what she was talking about, but I do remember in her voice lines her saying something along the lines of there, or at least alluding to the fact that there might be multiple skies, which opens up a whole can of worms in terms of like universe possibilities, like an extended universe. And I wonder if there is maybe some leeway that's going to be leading somewhere in the future, or if we're going to be sticking to Teapot, or if it's going to get bigger than that. I know characters like Dane is, he's kind of this mysterious character who doesn't seem to be beholden to Teapot's rules, but we also don't know anything about him, really. Maybe we'll learn more about him in future Archon quests, not sure. I do hope to see him again, but he has the same kind of enlightened perspective on people and fate that Mona seems to. Not that they're exactly the same, but Mona's perspective on how fate works. Like, she has a very, not strict, but I would say principled view of how things work in Teapot. And I think her drive to master it could be a good thing, or like Dane said at the end of her demo, or I forgot which trailer it was, but he mentioned that, you know, this is something that could destroy her. Knowing it all, like gaining true knowledge of people's fates, or maybe the fate of Teapot, or possibly our fate, mastering astrology in the way she wants to, he kind of gives this ominous kind of warning of like, will she be able to handle that burden? And I don't think he, you know, it's hard to tell, but I don't know if he meant it in a bad way. I wonder if there was concern there, because the stars and stuff have a lot to do, I think, with how we'll maybe gain information in the future. I don't know, because we don't, like, all of the Archons we've spoken to haven't really given us an inch. You know, Venti and Zhongli have really have let nothing slip about our fate, the fate of themselves, the fate of their people. They haven't told us anything. So I'm wondering if maybe we'll be gaining information in the future from the stars? I don't know, because Raiden also didn't say a thing. I mean, to be fair though, we haven't played her Archon quests yet, so maybe I'll hold off on that. She might share stuff with us. But in terms of maybe like future Archons, maybe we'll be turning to Mona to help us out, or I don't know. She couldn't really read Venti, like her voice line about Venti. There wasn't a lot she could tell. She was just, it felt like she had this really awful moment of trying to read Venti, and it was just wind and chaos, and it was tearing her apart mentally, and she had to like yank herself out of the scrying session, if that's what it's called. So I don't know, maybe there's a limit to what Mona can share with us and what she can gain. And in the future, if there is a way for her to gain that knowledge, maybe there'll be a risk involved and it might not be worth it. But yeah, I think in terms of theories, that's all I've got formulated right now. But definitely going to be keeping an eye and ear out for the Hexenzirkel or anything involving a coven of witches, a witch circle, keywords like that in future quests. I'm going to be keeping an ear out just in case. I don't think it's going to be a main player. It seems like lore that Hoyo is kind of slipping under the rug a little bit, you know, squeezing it on by, kind of letting us take in that information passively, and not really having it be a major player yet, at least, because there's something very cool about a coven of witches, and I'm very curious to see where that goes. All right, so I think personally how I feel about Miss Mona is she's a pretty relatable character in the sense that sometimes we all gotta sometimes put forth a wall, right? When we feel vulnerable, or, you know, when we're unsure of something, or we're really working towards something and we're maybe insecure about how we're doing it. It's pretty human to to kind of block off, you know, certain avenues of discussion, or you kind of are a little sassy, or give a little attitude, or kind of shut people down when you're trying to like keep them at bay, you know, kind of be like, take a step back. It's like the equivalent, right? Take a step back. And I think that Mona was kind of not super hardcore on that, but I feel like sometimes if we say the wrong thing, or we kind of poke at her weak spot, she kind of pulls out her quippy comments, and I think there's something relatable in that. I am curious to see, she did, at first I thought, like when she first started talking about her principles, I was actually pretty impressed. I was like, oh wow, that's very interesting. Like, despite the fact that she seems to be struggling to make a living, she is still refusing to lower her art to like menial tasks. And I think there's something interesting about that. She did kind of like immediately, you know, switch on that when we were helping the guy with the ring. So he was offering us money, but to be fair, she didn't lift a finger. Lumine did all that, so she didn't actually renege on her principles and use hydromancy to find the ring. She kind of let us figure it out. But I think there's something respectable about formulating an opinion on your craft, and wanting to maintain a standard for yourself and how you're perceived, or how you assist people, or how you share your craft, you know, especially if it's not directly benefiting you, which it's not benefiting Mona in the economical sense. But I think there is something to be gained, obviously, from hydromancy. There's something that not everyone can do. It's something that even Lumine or Aether, I guess, depending on who is your traveler, he was or she was struggling to comprehend the details of what Mona was saying. And the traveler, at least in my opinion, is a very thoughtful person. They're very intelligent. They're very observant. They may not talk a lot, but I think they do comprehend everything that's going on around them with great detail. I think they retain moments, they understand people, and they seek to understand people if they don't. And there's always that side of them that is a little sharp. You know, I guess it also depends on maybe certain dialogue choices, but to me, I think there is a slight sharpness, there's a slight edge to the traveler, and experimenting with this astrology stuff, or at least trying to grasp the basics of it as Mona was like teaching it to them. I think if even they struggle to kind of really understand the details of how astrology works and hydromancy does as an art form or as a school of thought, says a lot about how complicated it is, and that it really is something that is a very rare talent, and it takes a lot of study and time and mental energy. And that's also something I can respect. You know, if you have something that requires a lot from you and you dedicate yourself to it, you know, determination, I think there's something very respectable about that. And Mona, as sassy and quippy as she is, there is a very solid foundation to her personality, I think. And again, I have only spent a little Archon quest with her and read her dialogue, of course, and all her voice lines and her lore. She might be in the events or she might be in future Archon quests, but I think from what I have gathered so far that she really does have a solid foundation. Because determination like that isn't flimsy. It's something that you work against, or I guess work for every day. It's not something that you like achieve and then kind of coast on the coattails for the rest of your life. Discipline, especially when attempting a craft like hydromancy seems to be, it requires energy from you every day, you know? And committing to that's tough. I wonder if like how she even got into this in the first place, and like what convinced her to even start hydromancy, how she was exposed to it, like who were her parents, or where did she come from, where did she grow up, who introduced her to this art or this craft. Was she a student, and was she kind of, you know, endorsed into this, or, you know, I'm not sure. Was she someone who maybe didn't have a lot of means of providing for herself? Like maybe she came from a less wealthy family and I don't know, how did she get her hooks into this kind of education? I think it'd be fun to maybe learn more about that, just so we can get a better understanding of her, because I think you learn a lot about a person when you understand where they've come from and the environment they grew up in. I think it really says a lot about a person. Even if they're vastly different than maybe the environment they grew up in, you can still tell a lot about a person by contrasting who they are now and maybe where they came from. So I don't know. I think it'd be nice someday to figure out who she is. And I think Mona also, especially towards the end there, with the higher friendship level and the Teapot dialogue, she was really attached to the Traveler. Like, she grows very fond of them. She puts aside her time and even saves money, something that she values because she doesn't have a lot of it, and she usually spends instantly on things for her craft. It says a lot that she ended up putting aside her craft, at least in some sense, to save up for a little vacation time with the Traveler. I know that's like an offhand thing and most people will probably gloss over it, but it's, you know, it's something that she thought about. Every time she got some money, she thought about us and wanting to spend time with the Traveler, and put that money aside and decided she wasn't prioritizing us over her craft necessarily, but she was saying, you know what, this is also important. Spending time with this person is also important to me. And I like that, you know? She comes across as very aloof, but I think that's just part of her defense mechanisms. I think it's part of also just, she's just that way. She's very smart. And it might come across as egotistical. It did at first, but once you learn more about her, it's kind of just more of how she kind of engages in conversations with people. And maybe that's because wherever she studied, that's how people are, or, you know, maybe her master was like that, because she did say that her master had rare moments of generosity. So maybe Mona's just used to being spoken to like that, and or engaging in a conversation with people with similar attitudes or similar situations or similar intellect levels, and she's just kind of used to eking out a social life in that way. But she does soften up a lot once you get to know her, and I think that squishy core is ultimately what's gonna help us in the end, when she eventually, at some point in the future, because I'm sure this will be circled back to, because her astrology thing is very central, I think, to the overarching plot of Teapot and the Traveler's story. So I have a feeling that this is going to come back at some point, if it wasn't addressed in the events already. But I think her connection to us and her bond with us is probably what's going to make or break a couple things in the plot. So yeah, I like Mona. I really loved her play style. I love how fluid she is. I like how fast it feels to play her. Stars, I love like any like night landscape, stars, the moon, all that is always so pretty. And I think it's the combination of like the water and the stars thing is very fun. I didn't think she was gonna be my favorite character, but after spending a lot of time with her, I do really appreciate her, and I think it's gonna be fun to see her in the future. Absolutely. Thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. If you did, I, as always, very much appreciate you spending your time with me. I hope you guys had a wonderful holiday season. I hope this new year, 2023, treats all of us gently and we kind of achieve our goals. I don't like saying resolutions because there's such a stigma about breaking those, but our goals, right? Our goals for the future and what we would like. I can't wait to spend many more years with this community. I apologize that I didn't get a video up during Christmas weekend, but it was the holidays and I was, enjoying them. So, but yes, right back to things, right back to our schedule. If you do have questions about the schedule or you just want to come say hi, the link for our Discord is down in the description, as well as all my socials and Patreon if you are interested in supporting me. But yeah, I can't wait to get into next week's video. That's going to be a fun one, and I will see you guys in the next one.